So he will pay you something in return, that is called interest. So that is what the interest is, and interested word has come out of it.
Interest is the cost of not having money.
Yeah, of course. It can be. Yeah, it is, of course. So it is something, that's why this thing has come up, and the interest, and this has come up with a concept of discounting, or you can say the calculating the present value. If I am having 1 rupee today, what a person will prefer? Having 1 rupee today or 1 rupee after a year? Of course 1 rupee today without interest. And what a person would like to have 1 rupee after 1 year, it will not be. If 10% is the rate of interest, I will be indifferent, being other things remaining constant, I will be indifferent on accepting rupee 1 today and 1.1 after 1 year. So in this way, if I calculate that what will I be accepting today if I get 1 rupee after 1 year? So I will be accepting 1 upon 1.10 today. And this is nothing but will give you the present value factor at the rate of 10% for 1 year. And if you keep on putting over here the number of years, and the formula becomes the formula for net present value. Actually, people used to cram the formula, but this is how the formula has been generated.
1 by 1
so what will be the value after of 1 rupee after 2 years?
Can you tell me one thing?
Sir.
What are the components of the interest? Because interest is made of some components. What are the components of the interest? When you fix the interest rate, you take into account some components.
Sir, again we are coming to the economic part of it, which is not a topic of today. Component of interest definitely will include inflation. And sir, further, because I am coming on the inflation also, because while discounting particularly, this is what you are following today. But if inflation is also there, then what will happen to the investment appraisal? That will be coming up.
That will be taken care of by nominal interest rate and
sir, it will be like this. First your interest rate will be taken up, and then again your discount rate will be taken up, and this final rate will be called the actual inflation adjusted discount rate.
The difference between
And this rate particularly will be used to discount the projects. If you are and this is the most important component of it.
Inflation as well as the premium which you and the cost.
The opportunity cost.
You are following the money which you are available now.
That was the interest I have to.
So that is inflation plus the.
Fine. So this is something which is very, very important and interesting to understand. So when we come up with all these things, we generate a number which is called present value factor. And these present value factors have to be multiplied with, because this is what is the value of money today. The value of rupee 1 after 2 years will what be 0.826 today. Value of rupee after value of rupee 1 after 1 year will give me 0.9091 today. How? Use of this. And now when the future projected cash flows are built in, these are to be adjusted according to the present value factor, because the investment which you are making is as on today itself. So how come a comparison can be done for the future with the present without taking it as if it is present? Or in other words, you can say a person of say 21 years cannot fight with a person of 12 years. Yeah, we can do like that. What will happen means, if we can simulate that what will be the position of the 12-year person in 21 years, then a competition can be fair, isn't it? So the same comparison is here we are doing with the financials in order to come up with a decision whether we have to take a project or not. So NPV is, and this discount rate whatsoever we are taking, the discount rate, for example, we are taking as 10%. as a discount rate, this discount rate is nothing but the cost of capital. Or you can say the weighted average cost of capital which is associated with it. Why? Because the funds so generated out of that project have to be paid off. And whatsoever is remaining, whatsoever is the positive over and above will belong to the company or to the further projects to be given. This is again the same in the population of net present value. The decision criteria in particularly in this type of when we are using NPV is that if NPV is positive, we are going to take that project as such. So let us calculate the net present value of. I think you all are having your net books with you. Can we just go for this particular task over here? For calculating NPV by this, you will learn how to calculate NPV on Excel also, and we will be able to evaluate the same project which we did previously. So if we can open up our net books. This one. These are the cash flows which are associated with project A and project B. Can you please do it so that we will be able to know how to calculate at least NPV or IRR in case of, because this is the normal thing which everyone must know.
Sir, I just wanted to make one important point. Is as we do the calculation on Excel, personally I feel that I came to know for the first time that you should be remembering that when the cash inflows are generating in the beginning of the first year and at the end of the first year, because it is when we are doing it manually, we are not able to aware that situation, but only with the help of Excel. So just wanted to share with and perhaps you might throw light on that particular aspect.
Absolutely, what is particularly in that case, what you can do is you can just write here 1 and keep on generating the cash flows after equal to, and you will keep on getting the present value figures like this. Let me tell you how this present value figures can be generated. Fine. For example, if you take, because this is the current year, rupee 1 will be what rupee 1 today, without considering anything which is going on, increasing or inflation. Inflation is silent, presently we are considering climate. So if 1 is the, rupee 1 is what rupee 1, what will be the, years over here, 1, 2, fine. So what will be the value of rupee 1, today's value of rupee 1 after 2 years? It will be nothing but 1, or you can say this equal to this divided by 1 point and the rate. For example, here the rate is 15%. If we have taken 16%, I think.
16.
So 16 is the rate. So this will be the value, and you can copy this further in order to generate the value for the.
I think Ankur is mentioning something else. He's mentioning in terms of when does the inflow is treated as coming at a point of time. That's what you're trying to make. Well, actually, it doesn't happen like that.
Actually, yes. So I think when you do, when you put the cursor on D8 cell, I think in that case.
Okay. You are talking about what Excel calculates differs from what we calculate manually.
Yes.
Actually, it happens just because of the approximation, because Excel takes a long, because you see here, you see over here, because again the decimals have to be figured out properly, then it will be figured out there. Because here in this question, in this particular problem, I have got it. Yeah, I was also facing the same problem because when we are doing questions with the students.
Yes, sir.
This has been resolved now. Because when you use this type of whatsoever I have used now over here, and Ankur, you would be remembering that I was also using this type of things, this type of criteria while evaluating the projects. But now, yesterday itself I have come up with the correct thing that how it can be justified. This is what I have actually calculated and is coming up. This is the formula you can see.
Because of the issue is the cash flow coming in. Now that particular year, the cash flow is coming in the beginning of the year or the end of the year?
This matters. This matters. We consider as if the cash flow is at the end of the year. Then only. Otherwise, if it will be in the beginning, it will be as good as. Because, for example, my year is my. That's why we used to take 0 year.
Now,
Why 0 year? Because it will be at the end of the 0 year, you can say. At the end of the first year project. That's why 0 year is in picture.
Now to answer your question, if your question is the cash flows are generated in the first year, now in that case the formula we want to change. Now we have taken this discount rate as 16%, and out of the bracket we have taken this D2 cell. Now if your questions, if you are questioning that if the cash flows are generated in the first year, then in that case you would have taken the whole cell ranging from D2 to D7. In that case you will get your NPV.
So 1 year adjustment has to be made.
Yes.
Because it starts from the 1. So normally we take it as it is year 0, because today itself if we are going to have something transaction, so this is the time 0 here. Now the time starts from here. So at the year end 1 means after the year completes, you will start getting the cash flows. So have you done it? Have you got it?
Okay, no issue.
So once you have gone on with this cash flows of project A and project B, what we have to do is, in order to calculate NPV, what has to be done? See the formula, NPV over here. This is the rate which you have to mention in points. 16% is the rate which we have taken up, so it has to be mentioned in points, and the range for which you are considering the cash inflows. The range over here is D3 to D7. So D3 to D7 is the range, and plus D2. D2 is the year 0, and this has been depicted as negative. Why? Because this is actual cash outflow. If you see the question, if you see the problem over there, this is the actual cash outflow which is being depicted as negative, and these are the inflows. Inflows means something coming inside, and negative inflow means something going outside. So that has to be adjusted along with the formula, and you will get the net present value. The same is with that of the other net present value. So from the point of view of net present value, if we see which is the project which is looking feasible, the project cash flow of project B is higher, so definitely project B is much more feasible than that of the project A. Coming back, so the answer is now profitability index, the another way of evaluating a project. Profitability index is nothing but the present value of cash, present value of future cash inflows upon outflows. If you see it from the other point of view, it will look like as efficiency ratio. In economics, it is used as an efficiency ratio. So, something which is cash outflow is your investment, and what you are getting return out of it is cash inflow. So, this is nothing but an efficiency ratio which can be used, and it is called profitability index, and when it is associated with the present value. Actually, what is NPV? And what is, now we will be able to understand the relation between these two also. NPV is nothing but present value of present value of cash inflows